You open your bank app, $438 until Friday. Your rent took $1,875 before breakfast even cooled. Still, your $92 transfer moved before the panic. That small move is why your money may not be broken. Maya, 31 in Columbus, checks the same morning math. Daniel gets paid too, but leaves everything in checking. He feels richer for 3 days. Then bills surround him. Sign 1. Your money already has invisible walls. You once waited to save whatever survived the month. It survived less often than your optimism promised. Now $92 leaves first, before delivery apps notice. Daniel waits until Sunday and calls it being flexible. Flexibility feels safe, but it gives every dollar no job. A jobbed dollar has friction. A loose dollar leaks. Imagine $92 weekly becoming $4,784 each year before interest. Not wealth yet, but not broken anymore, either. Sign 2. You no longer treat every purchase like a personal failure. Maya sees the $143.82 grocery total, pauses, and removes the $9 snack pack and the $6 drink bundle, not the chicken or vegetables. Her co-worker Carlos does the opposite. He keeps the fun extras, then feels guilty enough to skip lunch the next day. The math looks disciplined, but the pressure comes back hungry. You have made that mistake before, trying to fix a month by punishing one afternoon. The quiet action is smaller. Cut the purchase that did not change your life, not the thing that keeps you functioning. The mechanism is simple. Shame cuts too deep, so the budget rebels later. A small substitution creates less drama, which means you can repeat it without turning money into a courtroom. Imagine 2 people each trimming $15 twice a week. That is about $120 a month. Not heroic, but it is also not invisible when rent, gas, and groceries all pull at the same paycheck. Your money is less broken when the cut is boring enough to repeat. The win is not suffering. The win is finding the leak that does not deserve emotional attention. Sign 3. You know the number that makes your month breathe, not your salary, not your dream income. The number. Maya writes $3,740 at the top of a notebook because that is her real monthly floor. Her friend Lena only knows the big number from her offer letter. It sounds better at dinner, but it does not tell her whether the car payment, phone bill, student loan, and rent can stand together. You have probably used income as comfort before. It feels stronger than it is. The quiet action is to find your floor. Housing, food, transport, minimum debt, insurance, utilities, and the smallest savings wall. The mechanism. Anxiety gets louder when the floor is unknown. Once the floor has a number, every extra dollar has a direction. Without that floor, even a raise can feel like fog. Imagine take-home pay of $4,800 and a real floor of $3,740. That leaves $1,060 for choices, mistakes, repairs, and progress. The number does not solve everything, but it stops everything from feeling random. Broken money feels mysterious. Less broken money may still feel tight, but it has edges. Edges are powerful because you can finally see what is actually squeezing you. Sign 4. You let boring money win before impressive money speaks. Maya brings lunch twice a week, not every day, and uses the difference to keep her $92 transfer alive. Brandon calls that cheap, then spends $17 on lunch because the office crowd is watching. He is not reckless. He is buying relief from looking smaller than the room. You have done some version of this too. You bought the social piece, then called the receipt normal. The quiet action is not hiding from people. It is choosing one boring, repeatable win no one has to applaud. The mechanism is social gravity. Money often leaks when you are trying not to look behind. The problem is not lunch. The problem is needing every choice to prove you are okay. A $17 lunch twice a week is roughly $136 a month. If you keep one and replace one, you do not become extreme. You simply stop letting other people schedule your future. Your money is less broken when you can choose a boring win and not explain it. Stability often looks unimpressive while it is being built. Sign 5. You delay upgrades that would only rent you a new identity. Maya's car is not beautiful. It makes one sound at startup, and the cup holder is permanently suspicious. Her neighbor Priya leases a newer car after a raise. The payment is $489 a month, and everyone notices the shine before Priya notices the tighter grocery aisle. You may know this echo. Upgrading because the old version of your life embarrassed you. The quiet action is asking one sentence before every upgrade. What pressure am I trying to stop feeling? The mechanism is payment gravity. A purchase that solves embarrassment for one weekend can become a fixed bill for 60 months. The feeling fades faster than the payment. Imagine a $489 payment plus insurance creating $620 of monthly pressure. That is not a car. That is a second rent shadow following the first rent shadow. Less broken money does not mean never upgrading. It means you can tell the difference between a useful tool and a costume your paycheck has to keep renting. Sign 6. You cancel things without turning your life into a punishment plan. Maya finds $47 in subscriptions she barely touches. One app, one trial, one service that survived by being forgettable. Her cousin Ethan cancels everything in one angry night, including the one music app that gets him through the commute. By Thursday, he signs up again and adds a second app. You have probably confused intensity with change. The quiet action is to remove only the expense that gives almost nothing back. Start with the bill that rose without making your life better. The mechanism is not minimalism. It is signal quality. When you cut everything, your brain cannot tell which sacrifice mattered. When you cut one useless bill, the lesson is clean. A $47 monthly leak is $564 a year. That will not buy freedom alone, but it can protect a tire repair, a medical copay, or 1 week where the card does not have to rescue you. Here is the middle reversal. Money feels broken when every dollar is treated equally. It gets less broken when you rank dollars by what they protect. That is the box to redraw. Do not ask, can I afford it? First, ask, what does this dollar defend? Some dollars defend rent, some defend health, some defend boredom, some only defend pride. Maya keeps the one subscription her kids use every Friday, cuts the app she forgot existed, and moves $47 into a repair fund. Nothing dramatic happens. That is the point. Less broken money often starts when you stop chasing a perfect budget and start defending the dollars that keep life from tipping. Sign 7. You negotiate before resentment turns into panic. Maya gets a renewal email showing rent up $115. Her stomach drops, but she does not just stare at the number. Her friend Noah waits 3 weeks, complains to everyone, then signs because the deadline corners him. Waiting felt natural. It also gave the rent increase all the leverage. You may have done this with rent, insurance, internet, or a credit card rate. The quiet action is one uncomfortable message early. Ask for a lower increase, a slower increase, or a competing offer. The mechanism is timing power. The earlier you ask, the more options still exist. Late money decisions feel like personality problems, but often they are just deadlines doing their job. If a $115 increase becomes $60, that is $55 saved monthly, or $660 over a year. Not because you became rich, because one email interrupted the automatic version of the bill. Less broken money has earlier conversations. The win is not always getting a yes. The win is refusing to let silence sign every contract for you. Sign 8. You can pause without spiraling. Maya has a $64 cart ready after a hard day. She wants the package because the day felt like it took something from her. Her sister Tasha buys immediately, then feels guilty, then returns half of it, then buys something else Friday. The object was never the object. It was a small emergency exit. You have probably bought relief and called it a treat. The quiet action is a 24-hour parking lot. Save the cart, name the emotion, and buy only if the need survives tomorrow. The mechanism is delay friction. A pause does not ban pleasure. It separates real preference from stress momentum. Money gets calmer when the fastest feeling does not get the first vote. Imagine delaying $464 carts a month and cancelling only 2. That still protects $128 monthly without turning your life into a lecture. You kept choice. You removed the automatic part. Your money is less broken when you can want something, wait, and still respect yourself either way. Control is not never buying. Control is not being rushed by your own nervous system. Sign 9. You attack one balance with boring precision. Maya has 3 debts, but she picks one card and adds $38 above the minimum every payday. Her co-worker Olivia spreads tiny extra payments everywhere because it feels fair. It also makes every balance move so slowly that motivation disappears by the next statement. You may have tried to fix all debt at once and ended up exhausted. The quiet action is choosing one target until you can see movement with your eyes. The mechanism is visible progress. Your brain needs evidence that effort is changing something. When every debt gets a sprinkle, the math may be fine, but the motivation gets no picture. An extra $38 twice a month is $76. Over 12 months, that is $912 aimed at one target. Again, not magic, but it is a line on the page moving in the right direction. Less broken money is not always bigger money. Sometimes it is money arranged so your brain can finally believe the plan is real. Now watch what all 9 signs have in common. Maya is not suddenly rich. She still checks prices, still plans around rent, still thinks about the car noise, and still has months that feel too narrow. But she has moved from emergency money to assigned money. Daniel, Priya, Ethan, and Olivia are not villains. They are versions of normal pressure without enough friction around the dollar. That is why this title matters. Your money can feel broken when it is actually underlabeled, underdefended, and overexposed to every emotion, deadline, and social signal around you. This is not financial advice. It is a way to see pressure earlier. When money has no labels, life spends it in the order of urgency, embarrassment, convenience, and exhaustion. When money has labels, the month still has pressure, but pressure has to knock before entering. Rent has a door, savings has a wall, debt has a target, joy has a limit that does not become shame. That is the difference between being broke and being unprotected. Broke is a number problem. Unprotected is a system problem. Many people think they have the first when they are really fighting the second. The master action is simple. Before next month begins, choose 4 protected dollars. 1 automatic transfer, 1 bill to question, 1 spending leak to close, and 1 debt or savings target to watch. Do not redesign your entire financial life at midnight because a balance scared you. Pick 4 doors. Give each door a number. Then make the numbers small enough that you can repeat them when life is messy. If the action needs a perfect mood, it is too fragile. If it works on a tired Tuesday with $438 left until Friday, it belongs in the real plan. Sign 1. Your money has invisible walls. Sign 2. You cut leaks instead of punishing life. Sign 3. You know your real monthly floor. Sign 4. You let boring money win quietly. Sign 5. You delay upgrades that only rent identity. Sign 6. You rank dollars by what they protect. Sign 7. You negotiate before deadlines steal your options. Sign 8. You pause before stress spends for you. Sign 9. You aim extra money at one visible target. None of these signs require perfection. That is why they matter. So when you open the bank app and the number still looks small, do not only ask, "Why am I behind?" Ask a sharper question. What is already being protected that the balance does not show? A low balance can hide rent paid on time, groceries handled, a transfer completed, 1 card moving down, and 1 useless bill removed. The app shows the leftover. It does not show the structure. That does not mean everything is fine. It means the first useful answer may not be panic. It may be proof. Quiet proof, but proof. Money gets less scary when every dollar is not asked to solve every fear. Give some dollars jobs. Give some dollars walls. Give some dollars time. Give yourself evidence before you give yourself a verdict. Your money may not be where you want it yet, but if even 3 of these signs are true, it may be less broken than it feels. And that is where a calmer financial life usually starts. Not with a miracle, but with 1 protected dollar that stops disappearing.